I learned how to cook as a child. I had to cook for my family, but I had the love and the passion for cooking. The turning point for me that made me want to stay in that was just when I realized that I could do it, be creative at it, and have satisfied customers. I worked at Free State Brewery for 20 years. My early goal was to open a business by the time I was 30, and I'm really glad I didn't. Pizza was a concept that I had thought of probably 5 years before we did this because the potential for local food usage was really high. Pizza's main ingredient is wheat, and we live in the wheat state. Tomatoes, we can grow amazing tomatoes here in Kansas. Corn season that we're in now, we're going through 10 dozen ears of corn every day. That became a really big deal to me as far as increasing the percentage of local foods purchased, getting them out to the customers, spreading the word, and getting the community around me to buy more local food as well. A lot of what I've tried to do over the last 10 years is to reduce the barriers and decrease the challenges. So that meant getting farmers to deliver at the right times, to do their billing on terms. Since we started those conversations, it's just gotten better and better. And you see farmers' trucks whizzing around town all the time, delivering great food to restaurants. We built the oven out of a kit that came from France. The interior part of it, the fire hearth, is from France, made out of a French white clay. It's just about the most heat retention that you can get out of any kind of clay. From that, a structure was built by Carl Ramberg all the way down to the footings in the basement to support the weight. The limestone veneer that you see on the oven is all locally collected limestone from down around Ottawa where he went and got the rock. It's not mechanical. There's not a moving part on it. It's just a lot of hard work and labor that went into it. We wanted an oven that could bake bread as well as pizza. That's how pizza was invented, was the bread ovens, the wood was fired to get the oven to a temperature so that they could then take the fire out, and the heat retention of the oven was what baked the bread. There was no existing fire on the hearth once the bread went in. Pizza was created because they needed a snack while they were firing the oven, but it was too hot for just about anything except for thin dough with small amounts of toppings on it, and they could stick those in there while they were firing the oven and have a snack that we call pizza. Our ambient temperature in there is usually around 1,000 to 1,100 degrees. Anytime somebody asks me what makes your pizza different, it's all about the temperature. It's something about 900 to 1,000 degrees that takes flavors to a different level. It's an ancient art of learning how to manage a fire. I really enjoy the management. I'm the guy when you go camping that I'm just geeking out over the fire, the right size log, starting it from scratch. Much like driving, when you're driving, you're not really thinking about most of the things that go into the act of it. When you're working the pizza oven, you're not really too concerned about most of those little finesse things. They just kind of happen. Sort of our first social media campaign before we opened was to crowdsource the naming of the oven. About 2 weeks before we opened, a good friend of ours passed away from a long battle with cancer, and her name was Maggie, and somebody suggested her name, and it was like a light bulb of like, of course. Maggie's family comes in from time to time and loves to see the oven, but it's a great story. She was a wonderful woman, and we really enjoy calling the oven Maggie. I've worked in a lot of kitchens in my life, and there's something absolutely zen about working the pizza station because the product is beautiful and you feel really proud of it, and you get to interact with the customers. Under the right management, it's very consistent on the flow and how the production level just continues on without a whole lot of effort. It kind of takes care of itself as long as everybody's managing the small things well.